Hello everyone, it's Lindenherz. Although I said in the last video you probably see the same setup, I try to change the background, although it's still a bit dark, so I try to get a bit more, try to get more light into this. Still have to figure out the lighting issue here that is going on. I have possibly all lights turned on that I can, but unfortunately I can't get the right setup here for this one, because when let you see here, I try to, this is something I tried before, and you see this is not an option. This is not an option. Maybe this one, to see more of this kind of way, maybe, perhaps. Let's try it like this. We come to day, I still have to figure out day 17, the mountain and the paths. So of course, talk about what these two cards mean to me, to me. Okay, obstacles. This is quite easy. Obstacles that where we have to find a decision. So this is kind of a decision-making process, which way we go to remove this kind of, or go around this kind of obstacle. When I'm turning it the other way around, let's see. We have a bit of a difference. So we have to make a decision, but this decision is kind of blocked by this mountain. But we could find a way, possibly around it. But of course, maybe this is my, like I said, this is my LenorMarch or LenorMarch noobs approach to it. Still can be wrong, but we can learn so much more. So it's quite interesting to do the first baby steps here. So what was the question, the further question here for the mountain and the path? So talk about what, this is something I read already. It says, I love this one because we are in the midst of an obstacle and there is a decision to be made. Do we go on or do we turn around? Is there any card deck or system that you hit that point and you either went forward or fell in love, or just realized it wasn't for you and moved on? System at the moment, no. I don't know if I will reach that point with the normal system. I don't know. At the moment, I'm more into tarot. Oracle is, of course, still want to work with Oracle. I love to work with my Camini Vuja. This is a wonderful, nice little oracle system where you can get a lot of deep meanings from. I feel that there are certain decks where I have struggles to connect with, which were much to my surprise, because initially I wanted them so badly. There are or were three decks at the that I had problems. One deck I gifted to Kelly, or exchanged with Kelly, exchange for her oracle beads. This was the Gaia Oracle. I had problems with that. I loved the paintings, but I had problems with the images, because I knew that a lot of those images within the Gaia Oracle were used in other decks. So at first I wasn't able, what kind of thing were hindering me to connect with this deck. There were certain things that seemed to make no sense to me, because it had, to me at least, this is just my perspective, I had the sense that there is, it's so mixed up or so. Sometimes I ask myself what the author was up to, what he wanted to bring across, because there were so many different kind of cards into this that I couldn't make a kind of linear structure towards it. So this is, like I said, this was my perspective, and this is something I feel sometimes often when with certain decks. But I was quite eager to get this deck, so it was sad that I wasn't able to connect. Another deck where I still I'm on the fence, and that was really something which was to some point disappointing, because I wanted this deck for months and months and months, and this is the Wild Guan Yin Oracle. I still try to connect to it. I did some intuitive readings with it, so 3-card spreads basically, and it was quite okay. But the main problem is with this deck is okay, pre-existing art. This is a topic that we all know that is sometimes a factor that we don't. That can be problematic. But here in this case, this pre-existing art was yeah, I have no problem with that when you try to stay close to possibly what the artist's intents were. But sometimes the artist in this deck, in the Wild Guan Yin, is a Chinese artist. And when I started to research a bit of his kind of approach towards his art, or what his art wants to say, because I wanted to bring it in relation to Alana Fairchild's channeled messages, I stumbled here and there, because I know that this artist is working for a railway company, and I always wondered why are there so many why these kind of railway associations in the images. Okay, this is kind of, he worked this kind of a, I don't know, advertiser, promoter, how you want to call that. He's some kind of designer for this company. And I know some of the pictures, sometimes I hold the whole picture. Some of the pictures within the Wild Guan Yin are just little snippets from a bigger one. And because I know this, it is sometimes not so easy to get into the message by Lena Fairchild. And I have one problem with one particular card. I guess I don't know the number. It is the slave dances into freedom or something like that. And I don't see it. I have to be honest, I don't see it in the card. I really, we look at cards, at least here, okay, we could say, okay, the meaning is the mountain and the path is about choices. But so we don't rely so much on the visual here. The only factor is that it should be quite simple to identify the card. But the thing is, when we work with Oracle or with Tarot, I see it strictly, we work with the pictures, we path work with the images. And if I don't see the meaning in the image in some kind, reflect in some kind of way, if I see something which says me something totally different, this puts me off. This can really puts me off and annoys me. I don't know why this triggers so much this kind of rant, but this is something, okay, I could just say, okay, I removed the card, and I removed the card from this deck. But I still have to find my way around, and I will see if I will connect. Otherwise, I will depart from that deck. This is really sad, because I so love the artwork. So maybe I can get my hands on the artwork. Another system, though this could be a bit longer, this video here. Another system where I try to wrap my head around, and where I hope this Lenormand studies can be of some help is, and I know I had a long wish, not a long wish, but a passionate wish for this deck, or longing for this deck, and this is the Rackham Oracle. You possibly can see when I'm struggling with the deck, when at moment at least, don't do a walkthrough of it, or a review or something like that, because I think, okay, I want to give more, I want to bring more, I want to have more experience with this deck. So at the moment, I still struggle sometimes to bring this in relation, because it is such a free system. Basically, you can make up your own. I liked Kelly's approach, so I guess I will rewatch her video on the Rackham again. Um, Possibly, I should ask her to do a video again, how to approach the Rackham or something like that along that line. But I still don't want to depart from that deck, and I guess I even won't if I'm not so good in connecting with it. Maybe I would remove some cards and which are making no sense to me. But it's still a wonderful learning deck in terms of new words, and this was one of the factors besides the gorgeous art of Arthur Rackham. The new words that I was able to learn, and this is something I still want to do. This kind, not a walkthrough of this kind, but a kind of walkthrough of the words, and I will this will be a little German teaching video because even the words that I find for the cards in German are quite antiqued, so to speak. So the words also come from this kind of fairy tale language, and also the words that you read in the original in the Rackham or within the Rackham Oracle are words that some people don't know because they are not so popular anymore. But this is something which still intrigues me, and I will still hold on to that stack, and I guess I will, however I will come up or don't come up with a relationship towards it. Something I want to try out and do some kind of comparison is that the Spiral Quest Oracle is out by how is she called? Over the Moon Oracles. She also does the Tarot Everywhere and the Oracle Everywhere, and you can order this on also via Printer Studio, and I guess I will order it because I want to see this approach. Maybe it can bring me some new insights to approaching the Rackham Oracle anew. Yeah, long ramble. So let's see, what else do we have here? Well, let's move on to day 18 and to the mice and the hearts. So the mice and the heart. This is also quite interesting when you search for this one. So the basic meaning for this, I see more. Yeah, okay, we know it now. Something that got eaten away. What it's got eaten away. Love, basically, or maybe we could also see it as I also like the word within the Celtic LenorMarch, erosion. So erosion of love, basically. Something's eaten away, something in the relationship basically has to, there's some kind of suffering. What's saying here? What's saying here in the Celtic LenorMarch, loss, theft, reduction. This is also good. Reduction of love, basically. And when we go the other way around, this is something I try to figure out while I'm doing it. I hope this is not so much boring. I know there are so many videos at the moment out there, and I still struggle to watch them all because, this is the only downside of it when there is a popular challenge out there with so many fascinating and intriguing participants, and you simply don't have the time to watch them all. But they are online now, so I can also do this in April or later, and then gain also more knowledge out of your wisdom out there. The old TH problem again. Can you tell me the way to the station, please? Yeah. So, what else? Okay, this could be a passion or a romance in this case here. And this passion is, reducing or get reduced or decays, erodes. This is also something so quite a similar meaning. So basically, in the combination of those two, this is love doesn't come away quite good, I think. Yeah, but the question was, and this is something I didn't read before, so I will try to come up with an answer. What do you find eats the most away at relationships, friendships, and what are some things that you do to offset that in relationships? Okay, I try to make sense to it because I'm at the moment trying to. I don't know quite the message because of the offset. So what do you find eats the most away at relationships, friendships? Gossip. I guess it's gossip. Gossip, something which is behind your back. This can eat away a lot. Sometimes it can also eat away a lot when one uses the friendship of another to just get rid of his or her burdens. So basically, I had this experience before when people call you and just have to tell you about all the terrible things that are happening at their life at the moment, and you don't have a possible way to breathe. This is something that for me eats a lot away in a friendship relationship, so to speak. But also what can something in a romantic relationship, what can eats away is when you don't talk about things that that you have that weigh on your heart. Removing problems. So this is my approach. I know when I have an argument with my boyfriend, I try to remove this obstacle or this kind of argument or this negative talk before we go to bed. Basically, I don't want this to be burden or sleeps or so or sleep. And this is something I try to do immediately. Also try to talk about when I feel there is a certain problem or I have maybe for myself problems that I want to talk to him. I do this because I know when I'm not doing it, I don't feel happy. And foremost, I start to get sometimes out of the blue, I can get some kind of nasty. So things that I know deep inside my mind, and I know only, can then influence conversations with my boyfriend. And sometimes he don't know where some things are coming from when they come out of the blue. So I think it's only fair to address certain issues immediately, I guess. And as I said, gossip is something which is really bad. Something which also eats away in a friendship is when you have a gossipy friend who talks about other people in this kind of gossipy way and tries to lure you into this kind of gossip. This is something I really experienced also a couple of years ago, and it was I have to be honest, I got lured in to some degree, but I was so unhappy with this kind of way, and it was really a kind of breaking free from this kind of toxic gossiping basically. And it was not good, and I try to shield myself when these kind of still sometimes these kind of topics coming up. And it's sometimes fascinating how people can deal with certain things from other people. So dealing basically with other people's shit in this kind of passionate way. This is sometimes something which is hard to understand. I know I'm not free from this, vice of gossiping sometimes, and sometimes it can bring you a kind of perverted joy to it. But I know that it it eats away basically, and this is something I see here now, it eats away your heart. It really eats away your heart when you give in to these kind of bad habits that I see. And this is, yeah, how I see relationships are also getting hollowed by too many of those gossipy things. And when a friendship is this kind of one-sided, where just one person is trying to get all the benefits, or something like that, something along the line, and the other one just has to swallow all that garbage the other one is throwing at her or him. This is really something where you have to make a break. You have to be strict, and you have to be clear about that, what you like and what you don't like. This doesn't mean that you don't listen to your friends' needs, but there is a certain there is a line, I guess, where you shouldn't cross over, or where you shouldn't allow other people to cross over, and you should make it clear to other people that there are times when you are open for other people's problems, because perhaps you have your own problems, and can't deal with other people's shit. Although this sounds nasty in terms of a friendship, but sometimes you have to be a bit more self-caring in this kind of way. Like I said, doesn't mean that you shouldn't listen to your friends' problems or your partner's problems, but there are times when you just say, listen, friend or darling, I have at the moment too much in my head to deal with your struggles. We will come to this when I feel a bit more sturdy with this. So yeah, this was on the mountain in the past and the mice and the hearts. And I wish you a wonderful day, or a peaceful and restful night. Also wonderful dreams. We'll see you soon. Many blessings. Bye.